I don't know why it is that Pisco is pretending he doesn't understand the concept and he doesn't understand how and exactly why these three members of the Hassan waiting room and the anti-Semite streamer team, the anti-Semi squad, are the ones being targeted. Because they're the ones that are most guilty of the behavior that is actually going to be the cause and the death of content. Because I know that many people are forgetting it and they've already accepted it as a meme, especially considering how Markiplier said it, because Matt Pat's in the government. But Matthew Patrick's entire caucus team is dedicated to this issue. In fact, this is the number one thing they'll probably be doing legislation and litigation about. It's literally everything. It is as simple as Twitch numbers. It is as simple as looking at the Twitch numbers. I don't know why this is a hard concept. I don't know why we're pretending that this isn't easy to understand. The metrics is everything. They're stealing watch hours. They're stealing watch hours. They're stealing viewer rates. For all of the streamers in question, go to solinome.com. Look up the numbers for Denims. Look up the numbers for Hassan. Look up the numbers for CaseyTron. Look up the numbers that are relevant in the content that came from his video criticizing them. Look at the details that came from Ethan Klein calling out the fact that Ethan could be able to see who was responsible because they actively told people because he used the Reddit snark page as the tool to find them. It's right there in black and fucking white on the screen where he presented it. Because it was the reason he put things together. This right here is why it's happening. They said they would do this with the intention of stealing views from him by going onto another platform and using that platform to get around having to actually watch the content on the original platform. And through all of these users demonstrated a desire to try to be a market replacement. Period. At the very end of the day, this is the reason why, in his own words, why Asmongold isn't getting fucked, and why XQC's not getting fucked, even though XQC was one of the faces of the problem. He was one of the faces of the people who didn't understand, and then he saw the chair reacts. He understood. The meme was no longer elevated to reactions is with no chair. Every single person who is guilty of this level of theft is stealing their views from content creators on YouTube, from Twitch, and using their content as a tool to elevate their streaming numbers in the form of their watch time and in a form of content to put on and throw on the screen as red meat to feed the breads and circus that they want to have for their chats so they can be able to build an empire off the back of other people's work. It was like this with MasterChef. It was like this with any Gordon Ramsay cooking show and reality television show that was aired on the big 6 networks. It was like this with anime theft. It was like this with movie theft. It was like this with people trying to steal pay-per-views and pretend that they're playing Fight Night 3. They are stealing content wholesale. It doesn't matter if it's from a YouTuber. It doesn't matter if it's from Viacom. It doesn't matter if it's from big anime publisher. They steal, and they steal with the intention of violating the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. And they do so maliciously, with the intention of justifying it against the targets they do it against, because that target is an acceptable target. Literally, they do it because it's politically expedient and financially lucrative to do so. That's the reason they're the ones being targeted. Because they went out of their way to demonstrate that they would be willing to do this. That is why he's suing them. People keep saying shit like he's a React savior, like Pisco is, and claiming that it's dog shit and bullshit, but it's not. We can all get clapped like this. Fair use has always been like this. Because the nature of it is the transformative quality, and whether or not, at the end of the day, the media effort is a market replacement. For all the other factors that matter in fair use, those are the two that matter most. Market replacement value, and transformation of the work. The transformation of the work is literally the React harder meta, as was set forward by JXE, calling out Hassan, and Hassan trying to ignore JXE, and JXE, Cinema Sinsins, being elevated by Mahler, and the Every Frame of Pause podcast, making it so that he could not run away from the issue. And all of the orbiters and all the people are now standing up and crying because they decided they wanted to pretend they don't understand the reason this is a problem. It is fucking retarded. It is stupid. Every single one of you doing this is dumb. You know why it's a problem. You make a business for yourself. You make a work. You make a career off of the effort of your mind and the effort of your thoughts. Somebody steals and monetizes your thoughts and your effort and intends it as their own and then claims it, copyrights it before you do, knowing that it's not theirs. And they steal your monetary effort. They pull a hack's money on you. Now you're crashing out saying, I can't believe they did this. What do you mean you can't believe it? They've been doing it for years. That's Twitch culture. I should know as a Twitch broadcaster. I've been there since before 2014. The days of watching YouTubers and Twitch streamers and broadcasters actually have fun on the website, and the days where during the highest, the heyday of Isaac, that Cobalt Street could not wear a fucking shirt, no longer exist. Twitch culture is still other people's content to enrich your own. It's still TikTok content to enrich your own. Whether or not you react to the content, it doesn't matter. Suck a nigga's dick or something, steal somebody's loot, cause some drama and get put onto LSF if you're big enough to suck OTK's dick. Any and everything under the sun to get views, because it's all about SEO monetization. It's all about watch hours. If they're stealing wholesale VODs of people's work and then re-uploading the VOD same day with no change in thumbnail other than themselves put into the corner and no desire and effort to do anything meaningful for the purposes of understanding, hey, here's my material, here's my work. I'm going to leave this out here, and I'm going to let people react to it. And all I want you to do is drop a fucking link and a shout out. Or at the very least, don't try to hide my content on camera. Let people know where you found it from. And they can't do it. Hassan Piker actively tried to stop all methods of content creators he steals from, and reaction news that he steals from, with the exception of actual journalistic news efforts coming from mainstream political publications. He actively tries to stop them from giving their credit. Denim does the same thing. Most Twitch users do the same thing. I'm not one of them. I use picture-in-picture, especially when I'm doing two things at once. Even use Obsidian notes, especially when I'm taking notes on something that's detailed and thick. The majority of most broadcasters don't. The majority of most YouTubers don't. The majority of most Twitch users don't. The majority of, if not almost 99.99% all of Kick users really don't. Unless there's somebody that's already multi-streaming on another platform. Most TikTokers don't. And motherfucker, they steal from us right now. You know how many times I've caught them stealing from all of our mutuals, let alone myself, off of YouTube? It's sad. But this is the nature. This is the reason why he's doing it. This is why it's happening. They are not allowed to build a multi-million-dollar career off of stealing people's content and then have people like Pisco, who built his career off of being a hang-around on Destiny of all people, say, I don't get why he's doing it. It's dog shit. It's bad precedent. It's stupid. It's dumb. Stop it. You all understand it. You understand it very clearly. You would be voraciously fighting for your own copyright and for your own content and IP if it was the case. It's just that some of you don't really give a damn. You don't take pride in your work. You don't take pride in your effort. That's tough. Because I'm not you. So I don't know why you're pretending that you can speak for the rest of us. At the end of the day, Ethan Klein has the right to do this. The same way that Sargon had the right to do this to Akilah Hughes. Because remember, Akilah Hughes tried to sue Sargon over, or rather, she tried to take down his edit of her political stream content that he edited into the format of what was effectively a meme montage of her reactions on the night of election. They then went to court, she lost, had to pay damages, and paid for Sargon's brand new car that he drives his family around in order to demonstrate that, no, you can't just steal shit from me because you don't like the fact that my content recording is more popular than yours. Well, the React Harder meta? You can't steal people's wholesale content and re-upload it onto your channel same day. Don't care if it's a fan channel, don't care if it's the main channel, don't care if it's a side channel, and then also say, I'm going to do all this work and then also choose to victimize this person permanently in the view sphere. Because unfortunately, these individuals who did this quite literally were trying to create a narrative around him and his personal life. And the people who are able to see it, or the people who aren't fucking brain broken and so goddamn toxic and vile, to pretend that they don't understand what niggas are doing out here. Because unless niggas are blind, I don't know what the fuck you're missing. So at the end of the day, I don't know what it takes to get you to understand it, bro. But you gotta understand this for what it is. They're trying to poison not just the water, not just the well, but the entire goddamn delta. And I don't want to drink from poisoned water. And I certainly don't want to eat from the poisoned fruit. So I'm going to let him fight for his copyright, because that's his right. It just so conveniently happens to be that 3 of the people who are responsible are people who will go out of their way to antagonize him and then use his likeness to build up their careers. You wouldn't want it happening to you. I certainly wouldn't want it happening to me. And that is what it is. Anybody else saying different, you're a goddamn retard. Simple as.